What's good? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Your boy Matthew Shack live here in Los Angeles. Welcome to Matthew Shack Unfiltered. What's going on, y'all, man? I'm just finished eating a nice burger, and I figured I'd come and holler at you guys real quick, see what's going on. First things first, salute to Unfiltered Nation, salute to the Unfiltered fam, salute to the Mod Squad, salute to the goons in the chat. Run the likes up. Run the likes up for your boy. Keep the likes at 50%. Last but not least, tip your bartender. What's going on with you guys out there, man? Real quick, man. Your boy's outside. I'm outside, dog. So I might as well, chop it up with you guys. I got a little bit of time, and I figured I'd go ahead and chop it up with you guys. Okay. Yeah, you guys, man. We've got some updates to the NFL rule book, and I think we need to talk about it. The NFL rules is and what they're going to be, changing up or tweaking affects all of us. So, regardless of your team affiliation, you're going to be affected. And I'm going to tell you now, man, most of these rules aren't going to benefit you. They're not going to benefit you. So we're going to talk about that real quick, man. Make sure y'all, hit the like button, and we'll go from there. All right. But got some, the owners in the, the committee that they have, which basically are the owners. What happens is each, teams will submit what they want to be changed or what they, what they like or what they don't like, and then they'll go and they'll vote on it and have a consensus and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing, man, is the kickoff rule. We have been, at least over here, we've been really down on the kickoffs, man. The kickoffs, this is horrible, bro. That kickoff situation, it's just it's ceremonial now. It's not even a play anymore. Okay? Because we all know that the kickoffs is a high collision situation. You get to build up a lot of speed, and the NFL is so scared of CTE cases. They're so afraid of having to pay out and all this stuff, man, later on in people's careers and all that kind of stuff. They NFL just doesn't want to pay, man, because that's what they like that, bro. They don't want to compensate, all these head injuries and all that kind of stuff, which is why they went away from a lot of the things. That's why you can't lead with the crown of your helmet and all these rules that they did, because they can really lose a lot of money with a lot of lawsuits, especially medical induced ones. Okay. We've had some people with CTE like Junior Seau and some of these other guys, heavily CTE, wound up unaliving themselves, and they had to pay out settlements and all of this. So this kickoff, man, that they instituted last year was so whack. Okay. Basically what it is, you have to kick in a zone, and you can't move until the ball is kicked. I mean, it's just horrible, bro. They made it even worse. All right, they liked it. The NFL committee, rules committee, liked it because they said that concussions went down like 40 something percent, and the high collisions went down and all of that stuff. Basically, yeah, man, shoot, we ain't got to worry about nobody hitting, running into nobody hitting their heads and all of that kind of stuff. But what the problem was is that the NFL, coaches, and especially special teams coaches and the staffs are very smart. They're very smart, bro. It's like, okay, you want us to kick it in this zone, which if we don't hit this zone, and it, a lot of times we see a lot of balls going out of bounds, and they would get the penalty because the ball didn't stay in. It's very tricky. It's like a more of a soccer move. Like, I have to be accurate and kick it and make sure it stays in this zone. And a lot of times it goes out of bounds, then you're at the 40. So you're like, you gave up all this field position trying to do this dumbass rule. So what my team was doing, your team was doing, his team was doing, her team was doing, was they were taking the touchback instead. All right. And the touchback, you would get the ball put on the 30. So if you look at the statistics on what it was before they instituted that, the average, um, uh, kickoff ball where it started was going to be like the 25, like the average, meaning that somebody whether they catch the ball, whether they down the ball, whether they run it out, collectively across the board, the average is about the 25-yard line. When you kicked it and it automatically went through the 30, you were only giving up 2.7 yards. So what would you rather do? Would you rather just kick it, let them get to the 27.5-yard line, basically 2 more yards than what they would have got on average? Or do you want to try to kick it and try to get it in bounds for it to go out of bounds so they can go to the 40? So the NFL owners is like, man, they're finding a way to get around it. That's what people do, man. They smart, bro. You want to put up a speed trap right here, dog. I just get my my radar detector, dog. Like no, you ain't just gonna be setting me up, sitting behind a damn a sign and trying to get me speed. And I'm a chirp. I'm a chirp your ass. So they took away that by saying this is what's going to happen. Now, if you take a touchback, now you're at the 35. Now you're at the 35. Okay. That 5 yards doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. Okay. So they're talking about that. And then they think that that's going to increase. They think that that's going to increase the kickoff returns because it went up. It was 21% the old way. And then last year it went up to 31%. And now they're thinking that 60% of the balls that are kicked are going to be returned. But what's the use? I mean, it's just like I always say, it's just somebody running, runs around and then next thing you know, man, it's like you're just getting free yards because no one can come and get you. You get a running start. You catch the ball, you get a running start. Nothing can go down. So they're expecting the kickoffs to go higher, and then they also tweaked the line and how you can move when you're receiving the ball. They're going to allow a little bit more movement, but pretty much it's going to stay. All right. So that's the first thing. All right, which sucks. Absolutely. So here's the next thing. The next thing they did was the overtime rules. Okay, the time clock. We all know that the playoffs, you can get the ball after a touchdown. We are in a regular season. If it's in the overtime period and somebody kicks it, it's not sudden death like it used to be. It was, if they kick a field goal, you could get the ball back. But if they score a touchdown, you don't get the ball back. But in the playoffs, due to the fact that a bunch of teams lost on that situation, they allowed it only in the playoffs where each team will get a possession. So even if you go down the field and score a touchdown, doesn't mean that you don't get the ball back in the playoffs. They decided to make that happen in a regular season too. So you're going to get a possession. You don't really have to worry about, well, we gave up a touchdown, the game is over. Okay. Now, sudden death was instituted in 1974, and they tweaked it because, back in the days, it was a 15-minute overtime period. And the first team that would score any point, it was sudden death. Whoever scored first would win. Okay. Then later on in like 2010, they tweaked it and made it 10 minutes instead of 15. They made a 10-minute quarter and kept the rules. Well, they said, okay, you kick a field goal, that's not a touchdown. But if it's a touchdown, it ends it. Then they extended it to the playoffs because a bunch of teams that they wanted to win did not win due to the fact that somebody scored a touchdown. So they changed it to the playoffs. And now you got a situation now where you have they will allow that to be happening the whole time. Okay. All right. So these are the things, bro. These two things are critical for us to understand how it's gonna do you in. There's gonna be a time where these rules are gonna mess you up. There's gonna be a time when you had a game in the bag or the game was in the balance, and these dumbass rules are gonna mess you up. All right. So the next thing that they did was they are now gonna institute the cameras and watching film a little bit more. Now, if there's a face mask or a holding penalty or a horse collar or any of those things, and it looks very like it didn't happen, they're going to be allowed to go and look at the tape. Okay. So it sounds good, but what if you're in a situation where you could use that penalty, and then they're stopping play, and then they're going and they're looking at it. Okay, it's not even a challenge. It isn't like, okay, we're gonna throw a coach's challenge and we're gonna challenge that play. It's like, hey man, hey Joe, that did that look suspect to you? Yeah, Sam, it looks suspect to me. Hey man, let's go in the booth and look in the camera and see what we see. It's just going to lengthen the game, and there's going to be a time where they're going to take something from you, dude. And it's just dumb, bro. Just absolutely stupid, man. Okay. All right. So they're going to definitely look at the first down marker. They're going to be using the camera to determine first down markers. So I'm like, what is the referees for, bro? What are the, what are the guys with the chains there for? Like if you're using everything, you're using AI to coach pretty soon we're not even going to have referees out there. We're just going to have AI doing it. There's not even going to be no human aspect. Part of the game, part of the beauty of these team sports is that you have human error. Human error is involved in basketball, baseball, football, soccer, boxing. There's human error involved, bro. Like they missed it. They missed that call. They missed that hold. They missed that fumble, or they missed this, or they missed that, or it hit the ground, or whatever. So it's starting to get to the point where it's going to be very controlled, man. These football games, for a lot of you guys that think that these games are rigged. I mean, I hear from you guys, a lot of you guys say that. You think that the NFL is rigged and it's already pre-scripted or whatever. This is going to make it easier for people to think that that's what it is, because if you're getting to the point where it's like, oh, we're going to use AI and that's what they're using, bro. I mean, if you're using all of this, you got the field. We already see where they got the yellow lines and all that stuff on the television. They've been had that. Now it's like within a millimeter. Like, can you imagine, man, you miss a first down on a play that's going to get you in the playoffs, and all you needed to do was get a first down so you can get a field goal, and you miss it by a millimeter because they said, oh, well, technically he was 0.1 centimeter away. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's gonna haunt somebody, dog. And I'm telling you, and to be honest with you, it's gonna happen to a team that they want to win. It's gonna happen to the Chiefs. It's gonna happen to the Eagles. It's not gonna be no boo-boo team. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen in a bad situation. All right. So we have that. All right. Then they were talking about the tush push. Now, the tush push, man, you got a lot of people who's trying to get rid of that, and a lot of them are in the NFC East. Okay, because who are the kings of the tush push? That would be Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Those guys are the kings of that. Other people do it. Josh Allen does it. Every once in a blue moon you'll see Lamar Jackson do it, but typically, man, not a lot of people do that. It's a move that the Eagles utilized a lot to get to where they are, being the Super Bowl champions and beating. So there's people that don't like that. They definitely voting against it. So they decided to table that. They decided to say, hey, we're not going to vote on that right now. We're going to wait, figure out some more things. And because, to be honest with you, bro, they should keep that. They should keep that, because what it does is extend drives. It helps the offense keep things rolling. If you take it away from the offense, then you're going to be more defensive football. And I know the league doesn't want that. The league wants offense. Okay. So, hey man, I like the fact that Jalen Hurts and them was getting them first downs on the Chiefs. I'm not going to even hold you. I'm like, cool, keep going. I mean, stop it. I mean, why do you got to change your play because you can't stop it? You can't stop it. Now you want to change your play? Bro, get the personnel to stop it. Figure it out. Okay? Simple as that. There was a day when the forward pass couldn't be stopped. When they first instituted the forward pass, they couldn't stop it. Okay? So, but guess what? Somebody figured it out. All right? So these are the things, man, that we need to think about. We need to think about, man, how the owners are crafting the game into being something that we aren't going to enjoy seeing all the way, because they're going to control it too much, man. It's starting to get to the point where things are controlled too much. The referees that are involved with pro football, NFL, they're the only refereeing crew that are not employed by the league. They are independent contractors, and they got it like that on purpose. NBA officials are they're part of the NBA. the umpires in Major League Baseball, every team, team sport, their officials are sanctioned or employed by the league. In the NFL, it's not. Okay, all right, and so that's the biggest key right now is the fact that these owners don't need no more help, bro. They don't need no more help, dog. All right, to get who they want in there. But don't take away the tush push because y'all can't stop it. That's what the only reason. I bet you if it was who they wanted, I bet you if it was who they wanted it to use it for, they wouldn't get rid of it. Okay, but they you know, so they said they're gonna table that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that. All right. So these are the things, bro, that we need to understand. This sport that we really love, ball called the National Football League in football. It's starting to be more and more controlled, bro. More and more controlled, man. Where they're gonna have the camera, they're gonna have the eye in the sky, the big bro. They're gonna have the analytics. They're gonna have the AI figuring it out. You know, it's just gonna start really being, you know, controlled. That's the best word I could say is controlled, man. Like, come on, man. What do you have referees out for if you're not even gonna let them determine the spots? That's the next thing they're going to take away, man. When somebody hits the ground and we're trying to determine where the spot is, oh, that was a bad spot. You know, oh, that was a great spot. Oh, this and that. That's human error. That's my perception. My perception of where the ball was when your knee hit the ground is individual. It's an individual thing. This guy may think it was an inch or closer or an inch back or whatever. Now it's going to be like, oh, well, let's go to AI. Based on my findings, he was 2 inches short. Like, come on, bro. Like, just get some computers to play the game. All right. It's really pathetic, man. But the owners, man, they are smart. They're smart, bro. They want to control the outcome of their shit. They're not letting this get away from them. The NFL has so much it's stronghold. Like the owners in the NFL stronghold. If you look at the other leagues like the NBA is controlled by the players. The players have all the power. The NBA, PA, and the collective bargaining agreement for basketball, they control stuff, dog. They really be punking the owners. Why do you think Michael Jordan sold his rights? Because he can't make no money. Why do you think Mark Cuban sold his ownership? And all these people are breaking away from the NBA because the players got too much power. Their contracts are guaranteed. The television revenues is down. You know, the excitement of play is down. So it's like, man, we're not doing any of that. They're not even. Owners don't have no control, man. It's either like, man, sell the team and do something else or keep it and do something else. All right. NFL, they're not having that. NFL's on a whole nother level. They're doing a whole different thing. They're like, man, we're going to make sure we keep things how we have been keeping it. We're going to control the outcome. And that's what we're going to do. We are definitely going to keep things under control. You know what I'm saying? And the way we're going to do that is we're going to definitely count and keep things the way we need to keep them. We are definitely not going to put ourselves in a situation where the players are taking over, where the fans are getting their input and all this kind of stuff. They're not doing any of that. All right. So I guess they'll find that out, figure out that in the long run. All right. So yeah, you guys, man, definitely wanted to see what you guys thought about that. You guys, see if you guys have anything you want to add to it. But the biggest thing that they have not voted on yet is the tush push. And there's a lot of teams that don't want it, bro. They're like, hey, man, we need to abolish that. That needs to be illegal. Like, it's only illegal because you can't stop it. And if you look at who are the teams, because they'll tell you, you know, who are the teams that are opposing certain things. I guarantee you they're NFC teams, bro. I guarantee you they're NFC teams because Jalen Hurts and them been really making things pop. All right. So I guess we'll find that out, man. But yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that, man. Let me read you guys questions, man. Like I said, your boy is outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside and I don't plan on going inside. It's a very nice day today out here in these streets, these LA streets, and I'm in them. Let's see what's going on. Booty Bang in the house. What's going on, big dog? Said NFL's always changing the rules. Well, they're always changing the rules because that's how you That's how you remain in control, bro. You don't let nobody get comfortable. If you know, one thing that I always say, Booty Bang, I always tell my wife, man, I always say, we need to know what new laws at the each of every year. There's new laws, and no matter what state you are, there's new laws that are being implemented, and old laws are being overturned, and you know, federal stuff and taxes and all of that. And a lot of people run around here thinking it's still okay to do certain things, and then you find out it ain't. Like I gave you a perfect example here in LA. This year, they have a new law that you can't park. You can't park your car within, was it like 30 feet of a crosswalk. So if you park your car like, you know how there was parking spaces and you park next to a crosswalk, you tow your shit, you know? And that has never, since I've been driving, which has been a long time, that's never been the case. So guess what that means? That means less parking spaces. That means the red zone's being expanded. And that means who's getting paid? The damn meters and the people in the parking places. So they definitely did that. And I was saying, hey, man, you better make sure you don't park your car close to a crosswalk. You better make sure you're at least, 30 feet away. Because if you don't, that's a big ass ticket. So that's kind of stuff. The NFL's no different. NFL's like, man, we're not going to lose control of the most lucrative and most expensive cash cow sport in the world is the NFL. They're not going to do that, bro. They're going to keep changing the rules, man, and keep making it for them. And that's smart. Smart for them, not smart for us. Not good for us, though. Okay, but it's good for them. All right, William Stevens says, what's good? Let's keep up the good work. That's what we do over here, dog. Even when I'm out and about. Okay, even though I'm out. I say, man, I had me a nice burger. I said, man, let me go ahead and chop it up with the fam bam right quick before it gets a little too late. And, let me chop it up with you guys and just talk about this rule change stuff and see how you guys feel about it. See what you think about it. All right. Booty Bang said, hopefully they got rid of the illegal use of the hands rule. They didn't get rid of it, but what they did do is that they said that it's going to be something that they can look at now. Now it's going to be something that they can review. They're going to be able to review face mask penalties only if they think it was something that may not have happened. See how they had to put a little but in there, like, well, we don't really think that could have happened, so let's take a look at it. So illegal use of the hands, holding, certain type of holding calls, horse collar, like personal foul penalties especially. Okay, they're even talking about PIs, bro, pass interferences. They're talking about, really checking those out. If something looks like it's going your way, they're like, hey, let's take a look at it. Like, let's get under the hood, which is gonna slow the game down, man. And that's what they want. Game slowed down. Let's go to while they're looking at the film, what are they doing? They're putting a commercial. More commercials being played, more shit. Okay. So that's what's going on. Mark Kasparian, are they keeping a new kickoff rule? Yeah, they're keeping a new kickoff rule, man, and they're tweaking it. They're basically saying, man, if you want to think you're going to kick the touchback, that's not going to work. Touchback is going to penalize you to the 35. That is considerable, bro. I mean, that's only, shit, how many yards away? That's only like, what, 25 yards away from, man, more than that. It was like 15? It's like 15 yards away from being in their territory. So these kickers are going to try. They're going to be, just kicking it deep and just taking the, like, you be at the 35. And if that don't work, they'll push it to the 40. And then they'll push balls that go out of bounds to the 45. So it's like, man, your kickers better be handling their business. Okay, you got better get you some soccer players out there, dog. Somebody who can pinpoint a ball to a certain location. And that's what they're doing. So that's definitely, they're very happy with this rule change. All right, Mike Hurd in the house. Okay. Corny, they aren't putting cameras at the first down markers and making touchbacks to the 30. Yeah. Well, that's what they did last year. They're making touchbacks to the 35 now. Not 30, 35. Additional 5 yards. Because they said that's going to make kickoffs jump up to about 60% based on their statistics. Okay. So that's what's going on. What's going on with that? All right. Chiefs win by default. Man, I love the fact, man, that Jalen Hurts and them were getting them first downs on those tush pushes. There's nothing they could do. There was nothing they could do, dog. I was like, yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it. You got to stop it, man. You can't keep changing the rules because you can't stop a play, bro. I mean, the play was legal. Now you want to change the play because you can't stop it. Now, I think that's kind of Bush League, to be honest. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all talking about Jack Tatum. Yeah, man, the assassin. Booty bang. Not to mention the tush push puts a lot of pressure on the defense. That's what I like about it. That's what I like about it, bro. Like, the defense, man, now they stack the box so you can't run. Like they stack the box so you can't do shit. Like you can't run the football. Okay, stack the box while we doing this tush push on your ass. Okay? Right. I'm with it. Everybody can use it. Everybody can use the tush push. The problem is you don't have the personnel. You got to have a quarterback that has that kind of girth and that has that kind of leg strength. You gotta be a Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts ain't the biggest of guys out there, but he bench, he can leg press like 600 pounds. Like he can squat 600. Like he's strong as shit. And Josh Allen just a big old corn-fed country cat. So he could do it. But if you look at everybody else that's in the league, maybe you don't really have anybody who has that kind of size and that mobility. Maybe C.J. Stroud has it. You just start looking around. Jaden Daniels is too skinny to be doing that shit. Geno Smith ain't doing no tush push. Okay, Brock Purdy ain't doing it. Matthew Stafford ain't doing it. So the majority of everybody doesn't have the quarterback or the personnel. I mean, even the Saints, they could bring in Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill could do it. Derek Carr can't. All right, Tua Tagovailoa can't. I'm just going through my head. Trevor Lawrence probably can because he's big. But the majority of these guys ain't going to be able to do it. So let's just get rid of it because we can't stop it, which I think is Bush League. Man, pick your game up, dog. All right. Rosetown Native said NFL getting more and more soft. Yeah, they are. I think they are, but they're getting soft because they want their pockets not to get soft. Okay? Like, straight up. They're keeping that money going. All right. Raw Rudy Rango's going on Triple R. It's happening. Booty Bang said, imagine if NFL let the players run their own league. They wouldn't let the NFL players run their own league, man, but it's been tried before. I mean, all these other leagues, the only time that the NFL was in trouble was in the 60s when the AFL, American Football League, that was the league that was putting a foot in the NFL's ass. Has not been a league since then. Okay? The AFL, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Oilers, okay? Those teams, bro, okay? The Jets. All them teams are AFL. And not only during that time, Al Davis, the old man, once again, the old man was the commissioner, and he was taking everybody, he was making the best players in college signing with the AFL over the NFL. You were getting all the best guys that were signing. I mean, Joe Namath, he was the number one pick from Alabama. He signed with the AFL. So the NFL was getting their asses whooped. They was losing a lot of revenue, money, television, all that shit. And then that's when they went to Lamar Hunt from the Chiefs, and they straight dirty Mac Al Davis. And then they had the NFL AFL merger in 1970. Okay. Ever since then, there hasn't been nobody come along. The USFL, a lot of you guys are too young to remember that. With Donald Trump and them, they were doing a little damage at the time, but eventually the television revenues and all that stuff started eating it up. And then you got the XFL, then they tried to bring the USFL back and all that, UFL. So the NFL has a stronghold when it comes to fans. And the players cannot put together something that the fans are going to jump over there for, unfortunately. All right. Tim Hurley said, I like the old days without reviewing. I don't like the new kickoff rule. I mean, when I watch college is a lot better to watch. Of course, you got better talent, and you got marquee players in league and all of that kind of stuff. But if you look at college football as a whole, it's pure. It's more pure. It's better. It's a better product to watch. But you're just not getting that elite star power and those best out of the best playing. But the college game is way more exciting, bro. And it's like, but the owners they're not budging, bro. They want to have as much control as possible. All right. No cigar today, dog. I'm not right now, dog. I'm out and about, man. I'm about to go get my son, pick my kid up, and maybe later. Maybe later, dog. I mean, when you got a couple of humidors full of cigars, it's not no big deal. It's like you own a pizza parlor and somebody, hey, you ain't eating pizza today? He's like, no, dog. I eat a lot of pizza, So maybe later, bro. Maybe later. Is Rodgers going to the Steelers? I'm hearing that he's been doing some things with DK Metcalf. He had a throwing session with DK. Of course, they showed that. Of course, they showed him throwing the football, because what's the use of doing something and then can't nobody see? I mean, come on, man. They got to show that they're doing it. And I think that they're on the road. I think the Steelers are going to give Aaron Rodgers what he wants, man. And good luck with that, man, because A-Rod, man, he's definitely going to go in your pockets, bro. I mean, that's not going to be a cheapy-weepy. But it's too late now, bro. It's too late now. You gotta stick to your guns, dog. You gotta do what's necessary. Okay. Yeah, college players do try harder, man, because like I said, they play the majority of them. I mean, you do got NIL players, but they're not a lot of them. That's like maybe like 1%, if that, are getting an NIL deal playing football, so that they're playing for the love of the game. People in the pros, I've known a lot of pro football, pro basketball, baseball. I know guys that have been in the NFL, NBA, all that stuff, and a lot of them, dog, they lose the love of the game when they get to the pros. They lose the love of the game. You thinking, oh man, you get to play the game you love, and get paid. Yeah, maybe like the first couple of years, bro. Then after that, it's like anything else. It becomes a job. It becomes politics. It becomes stress. It becomes all these people pulling at you, all these things. And, so a lot of them said, hey, man, maybe after about a couple of years, dog, I was thinking about, when am I going to get out of here? I want the money, but I don't love it no more, and that's why you see people, they have all these personal problems, man. Why you think they have, football players have a lot of DV charges. I mean, I'm like, damn, everybody in every league has a girl or has a relationship, but nobody gets in more DV shit than football players, bro. Every time you see a DV case on ESPN, it's a football player. Every time you see a SA, somebody putting their hands on somebody in the wrong way, it's a football player, bro. It just never fails, bro. Okay, never fails. So, like a lot of people just don't love the game anymore. All right, we love it, but we're not playing it. All right. Okay, man. Is anything else going on, you guys, man? But yeah, man, just get prepared to see more whack kickoffs. I mean, I'm to the point now, man. If you guys are gonna do this bullshit, just abolish the kickoff. Just stop it. Just be like, okay, man, and like they do in Canada, man. They don't even have a kickoff. Okay, they just have you go to start at the 20, 25. Okay, after touchdown, line up at the 25. They didn't even kick off. What's the use? Larry Ramirez with the $20 dono, man. What's going on, dog? Hey, man, tipping the bartender. I appreciate you, big dog. I'm out. You know how we are, LR2, man. We outside. You know what I'm saying? We be outside, dog. You know what I'm saying? We outside in the elements, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not in our grandmother's basement, scratching on our asses and all of that. We outside, dog. Okay. So I figured I'd come in and do that, man. But how's everything going, LR2, man? I hope everything's good with you, brother. The draft, you guys, is this month, man. Getting close, man. I mean, what's today? The 3rd? So tomorrow will be the 4th? Okay. Or is today the 2nd? Well, sometime this week will be the 4th. And the draft is on the 24th. So whether it be tomorrow or Friday, I think it's Friday, we got about 20 days, man, to get prepared for this draft, dog. And whoever you better start trying to talk to whoever you need to talk to get the word to your GM and your owner and your coach to get whoever. Yeah, tomorrow's the 3rd. Okay, so it's Friday. You better start trying to. You want who you want, man. You better start rubbing your hands together like Bird, man, and start trying to figure out how you're going to get that going, because I'm telling you, this is the last chance that a lot of teams have to get something. Okay, a lot, bro. I mean, and if you're a team that I like, you don't draft well. You don't. Like every a blind pig can find some corn every once in a while. Okay, you hit one draft pick, then you don't hit one or two, and then you skip out on four, or you blow the first round pick. It's just like, man, we just got to keep doing what the hell we got to do, bro. We got to do better. Okay, but get ready, man. See if your team is going to do some trading. I'm hearing that there's going to be some potential trades. I'm hearing that some players that are expected to go high are not going high. I'm expecting to hear some surprises. Like, we know last year's draft was crazy as hell, man. All those quarterbacks that was taken, and people trading into the first round to get a QB. Who knows what's going to happen? All right. Who knows? All right. Okay, you guys, anything else popping up? Like I said, man, I'm outside, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm not really worried about, doing too much. I'll probably come in a little bit later, man. But it's a beautiful day out here, bro. Los Angeles, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be out here chilling, bro, kicking it. Get my shorty, man. Go get something to eat. Probably holler at y'all a little bit later, maybe some cigar time or whatever. But just wanted to come in, man, and just touch bases on you guys, just to let you know. The NFL, they had their meetings down in Palm Beach, Florida. I mean, damn. I mean, what a great place to have meetings. You're just in Palm Beach, Florida, bro, chilling, bro. Just being a billionaire and just controlling the sport that we all love. I mean, you can't get past you. And them continuing to have a stronghold on our game that we have to watch. It's sad, but that's what it is, man. But it's gonna affect us all, so hopefully we'll figure it out. All right, man. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later, man. Make sure y'all checking out all the videos, man. Especially the last videos of the last couple of days. Very good content. Go check it out. Sub the channel. I'm at the Check and Filter.